haunting of Farm Road 1433. On the outskirts of town, Farm Road 1433 lay like a serpent in the night, winding its way toward the infamous Crawford Farms. Locals whispered of the road's dark history and unsettling tale of tragedy, loss, and something more sinister. For decades, this stretch of asphalt had been the site of countless car accidents. Teenagers racing to parties, families returning from late-night outings, drunks weaving home from the bars, all had met their fate here. The ghosts of their last moments lingered like a fog, heavy and suffocating. But it wasn't just the accidents that gave the road its fearsome reputation. It was the murders. Crawford Farms, a once thriving agricultural estate, had fallen into disrepair. Abandoned barns and overgrown fields surrounded the property, giving it an eerie presence. The locals spoke of La Espantosa Lake, a body of water at the farm's edge, where many bodies had been discovered over the years, victims of violence. Their stories lost to the murky depths. On a chilly October evening, a group of friends decided to test their courage. They had heard the stories, the warnings, but youthful bravado pushed them forward. As they drove down Farm Road 1433, the atmosphere shifted. The air grew thick. An unsettling silence enveloped them, broken only by the crunch of gravel beneath their tires.
"Did you hear that?"
said Mia, glancing nervously out the window.
"Hear what?"
Tom replied, laughing nervously.
"It's just the wind."
But as they continued, the feeling of being watched crept over them. The trees lining the road seemed to whisper secrets, their branches clawing at the sky. They reached the lake, its surface reflecting the moonlight, shimmering like a mirror to another world. Suddenly, the car's engine sputtered and died. Panic set in as they realized they were stranded.
"What the hell? We just filled up,"
Jake exclaimed, trying to restart the engine. As they stepped out to investigate, a chill ran through the air. That's when they saw her, a figure standing at the water's edge, her silhouette illuminated by the moon. Dressed in white, her long hair flowed like shadows and her eyes glowed with a haunting sadness.
"Is that a ghost?"
whispered Leela, clutching Mia's arm. Mia shook her head, fear tightening her throat.
"We need to get back to the car."
But as they turned, the path back seemed to stretch infinitely. The woods closed in around them, branches reaching out like skeletal hands. The woman at the lake let out a mournful wail, echoing through the trees, a sound that resonated with the pain of all those who had perished on Farm Road 1433. Desperation took hold as they ran back to the car, but it was no use. The road twisted and turned, leading them deeper into the darkness. Shadows danced at the edges of their vision, and they could hear whispers, names, cries for help, echoes of the past. One by one, they began to vanish into the night, drawn into the tragic stories that haunted them. The last thing Mia saw was a woman's face, a mirror of sorrow and despair, before the darkness enveloped her. The next day, the sun rose over Farm Road 1433, casting light on an empty car, doors ajar, and the lake swaying gently as if nothing had happened. The locals would speak of the missing friends, the chilling reminder that some roads lead to places from which there is no return. And so, Farm Road 1433 remained, a silent witness to the horrors of the past, waiting for its next visitors and weary souls seeking thrill or adventure, unaware of the darkness that lay just beyond the surface.